Bren here. Today I wanted to share with you the importance of orient your actions based on long-term strategies, not your feelings. Uh, as you can daily associate, like feelings change a lot, right? Some day you feel like a little crappy. Some people you feel a lot better. If you work out, it's hard in the beginning, but you get excited and then you feel great. If you eat, you might feel happy, but after that, you might feel crushed. You get tired, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is like feeling changes, okay? But then when it comes to the where you want to go, always you have to have a long-term perspective. You always wanted to have the longer you have the actually the strategy, like even 5 years or 10 years. I'll tell you how that connects to planning out your strategy. Actually, you get more advantage in your life just because a lot of people have no idea where to aim in their life. It's like, yeah, I think I want to go there. That's about it. It's not like you have that particular methodology to get where they want to get there or what they really want. So how are we gonna do it, right? Like every single day, you're gonna have all these different type of emotions, feelings going on. Those are signals, and you gotta channel it in the right direction to do the what. What you want to do is to actually go through your strategy. So if you don't have a strategy, basically you're just living the life based on the feeling. You're also floating, so to speak, every day of your life. And then when some feel good like ideas or some sort of like slogans or propaganda or half truths or lies comes in, you tends to get swept in and then just do something that pretty stupid or believe in some BS that if you have that right type of like purpose in life based on that long strategy, you're not going to fall for. So how are you going to do it? 5 to 10 years, like you want to imagine it might come out actually wrong, then you got to just adjust, but then just think about what kind of future this earth, wherever you live, becomes like. Especially pay attention to technology, pay attention to political movement in a long term, not like a short term, like year or two. But no, I'm telling you, 5 years later, 10 years later, where this whole thing's gonna go. If you understand those, or if you try to guess, you'll start seeing, okay, what kind of tool you need. Technology is a very powerful tool. You really have to use it if you really wanted to scale, especially, or you wanted to go a lot further and faster. A lot of people tends to cling to the past and try to retrograde. It means it's like, okay, I'm not gonna use it at all because if it almost like you might feel threatened how change is like, but understand that it's a tool. So as long as you don't really need to go full in, but then just use it to enhance your life or planning or some kind of style. Definitely, get used to that new technology. Let's say in 5 years, the it's okay. I mean, it's 5 years. Nobody's gonna have any sort of understanding. Okay, so in 5 years, let's say robots going to be abundant in a daily life, and 5-10 years, and then a lot of things get automated, right? And then the political nature, U.S. is going to be far more powerful than anything else. Now, if you have that idea, right, and then you better be careful. If you have a wrong idea right there, then you might go to the other side, and then that's a hard call. If you're having a hard time doing this, you don't have to do it. Just look at the short term and just aim for something meaningful, like something that you really want to do. Like 1 year or 2 years is good enough, better than nothing. Because when you are aiming towards something, then you can actually strategize. And then that strategize itself is the practice. A lot of people just don't strategize. Uh, a lot of people just, for instance, think everybody else is kind of like yourself. And they assume that the people are kind of like yourself, that they let your guard down, and then not realize that a lot of people are already strategizing to get what they want, right? I mean, imagine if somebody has all this strategy going on, and then you go into the arena with no strategy. Who's gonna win? You know, right? Even though you are so smart, but then you have zero strategy, then you're gonna get annihilated. Maybe if your life hasn't been that going great, that might be the problem. You didn't quite strategize, and then when you would just encounter a fox, you know, it could be your actually best friend. You never know, actually. If you haven't really examined that who has a strategy, and then while you have no strategy, like you act like everybody who smiles at you is your friend or somebody's to be trusted, then you're gonna get really, really hurt or disappointed or betrayed. Okay, it's just a human nature. I mean, it's just we're part of the animal kingdom. In every animals will do that, right? When it comes to competitive space, and we are in a competitive space, so make sure that have you know not based on the feeling, but through your aim and purpose and strategize. So just a few examples like how this can help. Like let's say if you're investing, and then if you don't have a strategy, you're gonna do the FOMO, fear of missing out, and then you buy something that it's just keep going up, and then you just buy, and then you're gonna sell when it's lowest because that the emotion is like you just don't have any strategy. Okay? But the people with a strategy always research, and then you invest appropriately. And then in a social setting, if you don't have any strategy, you'll just follow along whatever that group, right? Social means is basically a group. Groups like harmony is the maintained. And generally speaking, the harmony means, okay, the most of the time, just it's not for the business, but business, you got to be a little more, realistic, but then just hang out and stuff. Always a feel good idea kind of works, right? Like, somebody's, poor, like a poor me type of idea, like a victim mentality inside of it, that type of things. It's like everybody's saying like, oh, somebody's poor, poor somebody, and then, oh yeah, I feel sorry for you, and then you feel like you're the nice person, and some of that type of things. You tends to get into that type of a situation, and then you go along with it and then believe in such a things because you have no strategy, right? And then if you understand what it means to plan things ahead and then how to get ahead, then the people who actually take advantage of people who are just naive. So, and the naive people are tends to act based on the feelings, and then they are likely a good people. They seems to care about. I'll just say, seems to care about downtrodden, weaklings, that type of things. Generally speaking, you got to watch out. Is these people are already using that sort of things as a strategy to get to you, make you a part of their groups, and they use the peer pressure, which is another feelings, right, to steer you to their program. That's basically how the like a cult or brainwash and all that stuff works. So have that strategy that protects you from a lot of those kind of bullshit. So the focusing on those kind of emotion actually tends to get you a really short-sighted point of view in life, right? And then when you're short-sighted, you don't see anything. You're just your vision is very narrow-minded, so you just go left and right, left and right. You have no path towards anything. Somebody said to go to the left, you go to the left, and then right to the right. And then clearly, if you do that, you're not going to go anywhere. So orient your action based on your long-term strategy and train it. If a few months is harder, right? A few months, okay, what am I going to do? Then just figure out the next day. How are you going to make the next day the best for you? Strategize it. I'm going to basically strategize means just like, okay, what I'm going to do that makes your life the best. It's not like makes your life easier. That's not it. Whatever the hardship, whatever you can do, right? That will make your life, like, make you stronger and smarter. Probably that's the easiest way if you don't have much of the idea about, what you want to do. At least everybody can be stronger, wiser, right? Just imagine what you can do to get there, and that's the strategy that you can make. I mean, a lot of obstacle will come in. How are you going to navigate, right? That is a sort of strategy. And a tactic is more like you experiment in the little things. The things will blur, but then in some sense, but the tactic should be more like, if it doesn't work, just change it right away, that type of things. It's very short term, but then it's got to be intentional. It's like experimentations are always the tactical things, generally speaking. And then the long term, like, okay, I'm going to do this in a long term span. That is the strategy. But use that tool. It'll really help you. And then your life is much better. And then it'll protect you against a lot of fox and wolves. And then you will be really strong. I mean, you got to be both fox and a lion, so to speak, like the Machiavelli said. But then this is a crucial skill. You have to have it. Otherwise, like, you will not have, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. And then your life path will be just pushed around by the people who can think like a fox. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment on the section below to help each other. And I will see you next week.